Welcome class back to Chapter 3, Introducing Lists. This is the second lecture video where we'll cover the last two objectives, organizing a list and avoiding index errors when working with lists. So organizing a list. Often your lists will be created in an unpredictable order because you can't always control how your users provide their data to you. Sometimes you'll want to preserve the original order, and other times you'll want to change the original order. So we'll be going over some methods where we'll find that some of them change the list permanently and others will change the list temporarily. So permanently updating the order with sort. So we have a sort method, but we also have a sorted method with ed at the end, and they are very different. So you want to make sure that you are not very different, but they're different. And so you want to make sure that you understand which one is which. So our example here we have cars list, 4 items in our cars. We print it out and then we go ahead and run the sort method on our cars list. And notice that it comes back in alphabetical order. And if we want to do the reverse, we simply just add a argument, reverse equal true to sort. So let's jump over to Sublime and see how this is done. So we'll run this one. Okay, and actually let's do exactly what I had there. Let's print out cars first. So we can see that we have our original list and then we run it through sort. And now it is permanently changed. So with sort, without the ed, we have permanently changed. If we add in the parameter or the argument reverse equal true, okay, now we have it in reverse alphabetical order. Okay, and then we have sorted. Okay, so maintains original order. Okay, so we'll go through this example and then we'll go ahead and put it in Sublime as well. So cars equals, and we have our list. Here is the original list. We print out cars and then we go and run it through sorted. So even notice the syntax is different. So sorted takes a parameter or an argument, okay, instead of having the object or the list before cars, or like the list before that we had before, so it's cars dot sort. So different syntax as well, and then it says here is the original list again. So notice that we have our original list, then we sort it, but then here's the original list, and notice that it did not change it permanently. So let's jump back here and let's go ahead and modify this. So print here is the original list. I'll just go ahead and copy some of this, space it out so we can have readability, and then go ahead and update it. Here is the sorted list, and we are going to do sorted cars, and then we'll go ahead and print out cars again. Now let's do some new line feeds in here. Okay, so we'll bring this up so we can see the results. So original list, the sorted list, and then the original list again. Okay, so that is sorting. So one, you want to make sure that sort, again, is permanent. Sorted is temporarily. So if I wanted to actually save the results from this, then I would have to go ahead and save that in a variable. So with that said, I could do something like this. Cars, and I'm just going to put a sorted equals this. Get my parenthesis there, and then I could do print cars sorted. Okay, same results, but now I've got a variable that's holding the values of our list in a sorted fashion, because remember, sorted is temporary. temporarily. Print a list in reverse order. So if I want to have it in reverse order, that does not mean backwards in the alphabet. It means that it's taking Subaru, Toyota, Audi, and BMW, and just that would be the order of reverse. Okay, so from the back, this now becomes 0, this becomes 1, this becomes 2, and this becomes 3. So I'm just going to go ahead and build on this. Again, notice the different syntax. We've got our object out in front of the period, and then we've got our method. And we need to do I could do a print on this, but I'm going to do it this way. Print cars. Okay. So here's the reverse order of your list: Subaru, Toyota, Audi, and BMW. Again, not reverse alphabetical, but just taking and flipping the list from the back. Okay, this does change it permanently. Okay, so that when I printed out cars here, it was the updated version. Okay, so this one is also permanent. So if I want to maintain the original version of my list, I'm either going to want to make a copy of it. I'm going to want to make a copy of it. That's your best bet. Length of the list. So if I want to know how many items are in my list, I can just print len cars. Okay, and I have 4 items in my list. Sometimes that's a good item to have, just simply if we're looping through, or maybe we just need to know the total of our list as well. The last item we'll talk about is our last objective, and it's avoiding index errors when working with lists. So when we have, in this case, 3 items in our list, there's 0, 1, and 2. So when I go ahead and print motorcycles 3, there isn't that 4th element here, and so that's when I get an index error. List index out of range. Now as you're practicing the first labs of Chapter 3, this might actually happen to you. So when we were practicing the shrinking guest list, this type of index error might happen just because you're trying to maybe pop off a list item or a friend or a guest list name that doesn't exist anymore because you already popped it. So do some printing of your lists. This will help you when you get index errors. So with that said, we'll cover the last lab for Chapter 3, and that is 3-8 on page 46, and it's called Seeing the World. So think of at least 5 places in the world you'd like to visit. Store those locations in a list, and then make sure the list is not in alphabetical order because we want to practice what we have just went over. So print your list in original order. Don't worry about printing the list neatly, just print it as raw Python list. So exactly as we practiced here. Okay, so raw Python list with the square brackets. You're going to use sorted, okay, to print your list in alphabetical order without modifying the actual list. Okay, so remember, sorted was the one that was a temporary change to the list. It didn't do a permanent update. Show that your list is still in its original order by printing it. Then use sorted to print your list in reverse alphabetical order. Show that your list is still in the original order by printing it again. Then you're going to use reverse to change the order of the list. Okay, so that's a permanent change. Print the list to show that it's changed. Use reverse to bring it back. Change the order of the list again. Print the list to show that it's back in its original order. Then use sort to change it so it's in alphabetical order. And then use sort with that parameter reverse equal true to do reverse alphabetical order. So make sure that you have all of your prints. You go down each one of those bullets in detail and use your comments to make sure that You can kind of follow all of the requirements of 3-8. So if you have any questions on anything with Chapter 3, please let me know. Thank you for your time.